Robert Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds.
All right, you guys, so Ryan Reynolds obviously has to be deported back to Canada. Once again, this is a way for the left and the right to come together, because no matter where you stand on the topic of mass deportations of illegals, we can now all agree that the moral crimes committed here by Ryan Reynolds against Justin Baldoni have amounted to...
Robert Downey Jr. is making a massive comeback to Marvel after a 5-year break. But before that, he made one thing crystal clear. He wants nothing to do with Ryan Reynolds. Yep, you heard that right. RDJ turned down an offer to appear in Deadpool and Wolverine, and now fans are wondering, does he know something we don't? Because let's be real, after everything that's come out about Ryan and Blake, it's not a great time to be associated with them.
After he got super famous from the first Deadpool, then things kind of changed. I think he was like, see, you guys see? And then I think I don't know. I mean, would I work with him again? No.
No.
I would not work with him
that
again.
much vitriol.
But I've said that about Michael Bay, and now we're friends, and I would work with him again. But I think Michael Bay is different. And Michael Bay worked on a movie with Ryan Reynolds also. And so he has a very specific opinion.
That may mirror
of
your
Ryan
own.
Reynolds. And that was a good part of our last conversation with me and Bay. But I sort of wish him well because he's so good at Deadpool. And I think it's weird that he hates me.
From the It Ends With Us lawsuit disaster to industry insiders calling Ryan out for being a behind-the-scenes manipulator, it looks like Hollywood's golden couple is crumbling in real time. But just how deep does this go? Well, buckle up, because the tea is boiling. Back when Ryan was assembling his star-studded lineup for Deadpool and Wolverine, he desperately wanted RDJ to make a cameo. The screenwriters, Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, even wrote an entire scene featuring RDJ's character alongside Jon Favreau's Happy Hogan. Ryan personally pitched the idea to RDJ, hoping he'd agree. But RDJ? He shut it down immediately. At first, Ryan didn't understand why, but later, the truth came out. RDJ was already in talks to return to Marvel, but as Dr. Doom, not Iron Man. That's right, he was making a major career move, and he wasn't about to let Deadpool mess with that. But let's be honest, fans aren't entirely buying that excuse, because Ryan's name has been attached to way too much drama lately. From what Candace Owens revealed about his behavior on set, to how he and Blake allegedly blacklisted Justin Baldoni, the dots are connecting, and the real picture isn't looking great for Ryan. Candace Owens recently exposed that Ryan Reynolds is the one who started this entire mess with It Ends With Us. According to an industry insider, Ryan showed up unannounced on set, started reviewing footage, and didn't like what he saw. Suddenly, he was rewriting lines, inserting himself into production decisions, and basically acting like the boss of a film he wasn't even in.
We asked Built members what celebrities would be the most fun to hang out with.
He's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
Really?
No, he's not so funny. He's very serious. No, Taylor, then I would do Snoop, and then I would take Ryan off it, and I would put in somebody else.
I'm so surprised that Ryan Reynolds isn't funny. This is like a shocker to me. I see him
He's a good
walking up
actor.
and down our
He can act
neighborhood
funny.
all the time.
He can act funny. But he isn't funny. Maybe he can get to be funny again.
I'm so disappointed, actually.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
And it didn't stop there. Candace revealed that Ryan allegedly gave WME, Hollywood's biggest talent agency, an ultimatum. It's either us or Justin Baldoni. Shortly after, Justin was dropped, blacklisted, and completely pushed out of the industry. Sound familiar? Because this is exactly how Ryan treats anyone who dares to stand up to him. And Candace wasn't the only one to put Ryan on blast. Even Martha Stewart had something to say about him. During an interview, Martha was asked which celebrities she thought would be the most fun to hang out with. And while most people would assume Ryan Reynolds, known for his humor, would be high on the list, Martha shut that down real quick. You want to know something? He's not so funny in real life. He's actually very serious. The interviewer was shocked, but Martha doubled down. "I see him walk down. He can act funny, but he isn't funny. Maybe he can get to be funny again."
Robert Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds. Making the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman told Ryan Reynolds in 2021 he'd return as Wolverine after saying 4 years earlier he'd never come back doing the movie Logan. It was one of the most cameo-filled movies in history, where 45 different actors from both the MCU and the Fox universe returned for Deadpool and Wolverine. But one actor Ryan Reynolds asked to return for Deadpool and Wolverine was Robert Downey Jr., saying he wanted him to share a scene with Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau does actually have a very big scene in the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, but that scene was originally written with Robert Downey Jr. taking the main stage and Jon Favreau only being a small part of it. He even wrote the scene in 2018 just so it would make sense for Robert Downey Jr.'s character to be in there, because it does take place before the events of Avengers Infinity War. When Ryan Reynolds approached Robert Downey Jr. with the script, he said he was completely shocked he got an instant no. The reason was Robert Downey Jr. was already in talks to return as Dr. Doom, but he couldn't tell Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds said he didn't know about that until it was revealed, but now is happy for him and said he wants to fight him in Secret War.
And let's be honest, she wasn't just talking about his sense of humor. Fans immediately clocked that she was shading his entire personality, hinting that he's not the charming guy he pretends to be. And she's not the only one saying this. Let's talk about Morena Baccarin, Ryan's co-star from Deadpool. She was supposed to have a much bigger role in the franchise, but mysteriously, she started getting pushed to the sidelines. At first, people thought it was just a creative decision, but insiders have revealed that Ryan was the one who made sure she was cut out. She even admitted that she was disappointed about being sidelined, but still tried to be diplomatic about it, saying, "I loved the part so much, but I understood the creative choices." But the reality? Ryan allegedly blacklisted her, just like he did with Justin Baldoni. And she wasn't the only one. TJ Miller, who played Weasel in the first 2 Deadpool movies, revealed that Ryan's entire personality changed after getting famous. "He was horrifically mean to me. He acted like I was a nobody on set." TJ even refused to return for Deadpool 3, saying he'd rather walk away from the franchise than deal with Ryan's ego again. And then there's Blake Lively, who's apparently just as bad. Remember when Anna Kendrick looked uncomfortable as hell when asked about working with Blake on A Simple Favor 2? Yeah, well, insiders are now revealing that Anna can't stand Blake either. Apparently, Blake demanded that her name be placed above Anna's on promotional material, even though Anna is the bigger star with way more successful films under her belt. In fact, the official movie poster is proof. Anna's name is listed first, but Blake's is awkwardly placed higher, making it clear she forced that design choice. Fans were quick to notice, with one saying, "Why is Blake's name floating above Anna's? It looks weird and forced." But this is exactly the kind of move you'd expect from someone like Blake. Just like how she and Ryan made sure Justin Baldoni was shoved into the basement during a movie premiere. At the end of the day, Ryan and Blake's reputations are spiraling fast. And RDJ? He wasn't about to get mixed up in that mess. So, do you think Ryan's behavior is the real reason RDJ turned him down? And with all this bad press, do you think Ryan and Blake can bounce back from this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and make sure to subscribe, because this drama is far from over, and we'll be here with all the updates.